Gosh darn it, Flick, why are you always here on days when I don't play early? Always. I will do what pleases me. You know what, Steven? Chores are boring and repetitive. When I'm busy scrubbing away around my home, it almost feels like a break. For a little while, I can get something accomplished without having to worry about anything. You know what I mean? Flirt. I kind of don't when it comes to cleaning, but that's because I hate cleaning. I just hate it. Like, I know I've talked about this before, but legitimately, I loathe cleaning. I cannot stand doing it. I need to do it more, but I just can't stand it. It's just... ugh. Don't like... Hello, Sky. Oh, hello, Airmail. Let's talk. I'm glad for weather like this. It's perfect for air drying my laundry. It's very fair. Talked about that before, too, but I kind of miss being able to do that. Cashew, glad to see you. Want chat? Sometimes nighttime can feel lonely, so I'm glad I ran into you. I mean, you got Sky right there, too. She's not like the person, I swear. She won't make you feel alone while you're talking with her. I say that. I've never actually referred to my ex as Sky. It's just, I know that's a name she uses, so... Just can't, it's one of those things where, like, that's why I want that animal on my island, so I can just not have any real correlation there anymore. Zoops, thought you'd come by. Let's talk. Ha, must have similar tastes if you got your eye on my wooden block bookshelf. Jokes aside, it's cool you're into that sort of thing. I like when folks like my stuff, you know? That is fair. I do have something I want to ramble about today. And... It's entirely around Mario Kart World and how people are going on about it right now. Oh, it's Steven. Glad to see you. Slatus. Let's make today our best day ever. Totally gonna try. And I might honestly make a whole video on this and upload it, just because why not? Make it its own thing. I honestly feel like people are missing the point of intermissions. And also mistaking what they want for what the community wants. And I say that after having spent that stream playing mostly online randoms. I did play a little bit of Knockout Tour because I like the intermission, so I was like, oh, I'll play Knockout Tour. Not many people playing Knockout Tour, because there is only 6 cups. No one wants to play the same 6 intermission strings. They just don't want to. And I can't blame them. So, a lot of people go to Worldwides. Now, the people playing those Worldwides want a chance to win. And I basically made mention of this in the shortcut video I was just watching. But he was basically doing a video of, well, okay, let's see how increased it is to get 3 lap tracks. And basically found that almost half of the time there was a 3 lap track as an option or came up via random. Which, in my opinion, is honestly kind of too high. I think it worked out to like 40-some% based on his sample size of 20 games. Yeah, that feels too high. And I say that because if you watch his video of doing that, you'll notice pretty quickly, unless he himself makes a mistake or simply gets Mario Karted, he doesn't lose 3 lap tracks. Because the people he's playing with aren't anywhere near as well practiced, even if they're at the same VR he's at. And he's at like 9,000-ish VR. They're not as practiced at all of the high skill shortcuts as he is. He has a massive advantage. And I know the general response from a lot of the people who want these tracks all the time is, we'll just get good at the shortcuts. Like, yes, just get good at the shortcut that a regular casual player would never find on their own. Like, and these people can't argue that, because I can almost guarantee you I could probably find them commenting on a video of these insane shortcuts that involve leaping off the track and bouncing off a wall and like all this dumb crap. I could probably find these people commenting like, holy crap, that's an insane shortcut. I would have never thought to try that, because you wouldn't. On Great Question Mark Block Ruins, why would you ever think to throw yourself off the side of the track and trick off of an edge of a big circle? Why would you ever think to try that if you weren't purposefully trying to hunt for shortcuts? The simple answer is you wouldn't. I would never do it. Even knowing the shortcut's there, I refuse to learn it because, in my opinion, that should be a Lakitu zone. And I don't want to learn a shortcut that I don't feel is fair. Steven, I just wanted to say thank you for always being there to help Label. She talks about you all the time, you know. She says the outfits you pick out are always super inspiring. As she runs back here and starts sketching furiously. It's wonderful to see. Thanks so much for all three of us. Thank you from the roots of my quills. Well, not this one yet. I'll get there, though. I really need to get there. It's like, we're well over halfway through the year, and I've not done 30 homes in Happy Home Paradise yet. I was gonna have that done months ago, and then I got into a bit of a rut mentally and just could not bring myself to do it. And now I'm doing a bit better, but like, I'm still just like, designing homes isn't my favorite thing to do. So it's like, I could do that, or I could just like catch fish and bugs and do things I like doing. Hey there, Butterbean. Stay a while, Snorty. Let's chat. Turnip buying is the talk of the island. Everyone's asking, what does Butterbean know? I'm no stock market expert, so I don't know what to make of your bold investment strategy. If it works out, Snorty. I'm no expert either. I just buy them. They're there. I buy them. That's how it works. But like, everyone's going on about how like, oh, the majority of the player base wants three-lap tracks. Does it though? I don't know exactly how many people are in the Discord, but I know from experience of having played online. I'll mention this after talking with Snake. Yo, Steven, I was waiting for you, Colonel. It's latest. You know, sometimes it's not easy to tell when someone is ripped, Colonel. I mean, at a glance, some really built folks don't look that built. That's why I think every ripped bod needs a muscle shirt, Colonel. I mean, why hide those impressive muscles? Share them with the rest of the world, Colonel. Then again, there's something to be said about working your modesty muscles, Colonel. Yeah. Yeah, there is. But from my own experience playing online, and even watching the shortcut video, people don't like the 3-lap courses. At least the people playing Worldwides. And there is almost certainly more people playing Worldwides than there are in that Discord, period. And keep in mind, given Shortcat talked about that Discord, a lot of his fans are probably there, not because they want to play 3-lap tracks, but because they want to play with him. They want to get into a video. You know, they're not doing it purely because they just want those tracks. They're doing it because they want to be part of a video. Thanks for coming around. Let's talk. Monday nights used to be when my favorite TV show came on. They'd have these skits where pop stars and athletes would swap places. They were usually awful. But sometimes a water skiing bigwig could really sing, or a pop star could pass for a pro player. That actually sounds like a neat idea. Like, I know nothing about celebrities, for the most part, But I'm now just imagining, like even, like, sports stars. I don't know them at all. But now I'm imagining you take, like, some pro, like, basketball player and swap them with Christopher Walken. That would be amazing. I don't care about the acting side of the basketball player. I don't care. I just want to see old-ass Christopher Walken playing basketball, going down the court like, I am dribbling a ball. I'm dribbling it. I'm throwing it. He is. I can't. It's been a while since I've watched anything Christopher Walken, but he has a way of speaking. Wisp, I don't want to see you. I don't want to help Wisp. Is that... If I don't talk with Wisp, I don't need to help Wisp. That is a fair thing. If I just leave him alone and not spook him, it's not a problem. If I cared about completing my catalog, I would definitely be like, heck yeah, Wisp, but I kind of don't. And gathering up Wisp spirits can take frickin' forever. So. And I do have a lot of recording I need to do tonight. But yeah, like, it does really feel like the actual majority of the player base does not like the 3-lap courses if they get absolutely dominated by somebody. Because there is that caveat. I have seen people stay on a 3-lap course when it was a close race and everybody had a chance to win. It wasn't just one person half a lap ahead of everybody else. It was actually, you know, a close race and people were having fun. But no one likes to play for second place. Like, even me, someone who literally does not take Mario Kart seriously, I am incapable of taking that game seriously. Pinky has fleas. I hear them. Give me them fleas, girl. Simon saw. What? There were fleas on me. No soon-to-be famous singer has ever wants to hear she's got fleas. You were so cool to catch them for me. You've got some fab bug catching skills. Now I gotta move them. You know how much I inconvenience myself for you, Pinky? You better appreciate that. Simon! Cool greeting. Like running into you. It's the latest. Just thinking about you. Thinking about seeing your face. Big old adorable round head. I can go back for it. Oh, the music in this game makes me so tired. I need a shovel. If I even go back for it. I have a lot of the recipes. I'm getting very lazy as this series goes on, as you can probably tell. Like, when playing at lower VRs at least, you can watch people leave after 3-lap tracks. And they probably actually left throughout the 3-lap track. You know, like... And like, as I was even saying, like, I don't like playing for second place. I don't like knowing the best I can hope to get is second. Now, with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that wasn't quite as bad, because, well, a lot of getting good at that game was just simply being able to recognize where is a shortcut, and knowing how to take it, and being able to drive the tracks really well. Driving the tracks really well has now evolved into doing the 50 million wall ride shortcuts. And knowing which rails to grind, and which ones to not grind, and where to jump off the rail, and where... It's like... How about, for online randoms, we just remove all of that stuff, and make everyone take shortcuts the good old-fashioned way when the games were not as skill-intensive to do well. Like, I feel like that's the reason for the intermissions. Like, I get the people who have spent the time to get really good at Mario Kart World want to be able to show off their skills. So go play competitively, join the Discord, play more seriously. Most of the people playing Mario Kart World don't want to do that. They just want to have fun. And it's hard to have fun when you're tryharding all over them. Like, that's why I've said before, I feel the community solved this problem for itself. Like, I don't understand the issue anymore. Like, but now these people are still complaining because they want to be able to build up VR. It's like, I don't care. I really don't. I care about the game being fun. And fun for the most people. The game isn't going to be fun for the most people if everybody is being forced to play the 3 lap tracks against tryhards. Like, the biggest reason Nintendo made their big balance change to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the one that people credit as basically having ruined every world record, that was mainly because as the expansions were coming out, the player count was dropping for 8 Deluxe because people were getting sick and tired of constantly losing to Waluigi tryhards. Like, and Nintendo did completely ruin Waluigi. He wasn't the worst character after that was said and done. That was still some of the... Right, that's a tool I need. That will always get annoying. Storage, storage, storage. I'll put those in storage too. But like, he basically became the least optimal character you could be playing of the optimal characters. Like, Iggy, was still definitely worse. Baby Rosalina was definitely worse. But they still had some redeeming qualities to them, while being statistically worse. Wario was to the point where he just didn't have anything going for him. Same with the I forget the exact vehicle that everyone was using, but that exact vehicle as well just didn't get buffed when everything else did. But, yeah, like, people just were not having fun. And you could tell that that change brought players back. Because, like, there was a lot more people playing 8 Deluxe after the final update, Wave 6, than basically any of the other DLC before that. And there was also a lot more variety in what people were playing. It was nice. I really liked that first little bit, because that's basically when I started playing 8 Deluxe. I'd been watching it beforehand, and like, yeah, it looked kind of miserable. You'd load into a lobby and be met with 11 Waluigis. And it's like, ah, okay. Hi, Funky Kong. But then you get the players that enjoy that kind of thing. The Mario Kart Wii players, who I honestly don't understand why they still play Mario Kart Wii. That meta has long since been figured out. You're all playing the same character on the same bike, the same way. How is this fun? I suppose you could argue that's the purest test of skill, but you could also argue it's the purest test of how just boring you are. But, like, I don't want to see Mario Kart World fall into that same crap. Like, I want to see the game do well. I want to see it go the distance, and it has a real chance to with intermissions, especially right now. Maybe my opinion will change if they tidy up some of the Lakitu zones, completely kill a lot of the highest skill shortcuts, and add about 30 more tracks to the game. Like, there's not enough tracks right now without intermissions. There just isn't. Like, there are literally 30 tracks in the game. They need to double that before there's really enough for me to be like, yeah, a mode of just those courses would do well. Especially if they don't plan on updating the number of tracks for the next, like, year. People would get bored and quit if there's only 30 tracks to play. Wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people who did play a lot back before they changed how the random button worked got sick and tired of the basic tracks because there's only 30 of them. To someone who's never played a racing game, that may not sound bad to only have 30 tracks, and some older Mario Kart games only had, had fewer tracks than that. But here's the thing. We're coming from 8 Deluxe on the same system. I could load 8 Deluxe up on my Switch 2 and play that instead, and it has, what, 80-some tracks? Admittedly, playing online anytime a Mario Kart Wii track pops up, that's what you're playing, because that's what everybody... I just bought a... I'm so dumb. Hold on. I'm so dumb. Hey, boys! I got some stuff to sell. Also, what are the turnip prices right now? 83. Ooh, starting strong. Gonna save the bugs for Flick. But, like, there's just a ton more tracks in 8 Deluxe because of all the expansion pass content. I think even the base game of 8 Deluxe has more than 30 tracks because it just has more cups. Like, I feel like people would get incredibly bored if they only had those tracks to play. Now, I know, again, you're gonna get the tryhards being like, no, they wouldn't. It's like, yeah, just because you wouldn't doesn't mean the general player base wouldn't. Like, I've had this issue in so many games. For anyone who's watched me long enough to have been watching through a lot of my World of Warships obsession, you'll probably remember that this same thing happens in that game. Aircraft carriers are so busted they need nerfed, except anyone who actually plays aircraft carriers will tell you, nah, they're fine. They're kind of the weakest they've ever been. We nerf them anymore and they'll be unplayable. Anyone who's actually played aircraft carriers, when they experienced the tests of the rework, were going, yeah, this is awful. Carriers are unplayable now. But because those voices kept complaining and complaining and complaining, as last I heard, the carrier rework is definitely still happening, and carriers are going to be rendered completely unplayable. Honestly, dealing with that community is one of the things that just made me go, no, I'm done with this game. Like, it didn't help I was already burnt out, but I'm just so sick and tired of dealing with communities that think the loud ones are everyone. Like, like, you see the same thing in every game. I've seen people in 14 arguing that, well, no, there's only a couple really loud people who don't like the things that are happening. Because most of the other loud people still like it, and they're shouting at the really loud people to stop shouting about how much they don't like the game. Yeah, it don't work that way. The player count dropping like a stone is a pretty good indicator that people are not happy with the direction the game has gone. It's a pretty good indicator that people think the game is kind of crap right now. Like, the fact that even with patches, they're not seeing the player count rise. It's still dropping even when the game has a patch. Yeah, people aren't happy. Sorry to spring this on you, but could I convince you to buy my Robo Hero tea? Sure. Oh, thank you. Think 800 bells sounds fair? I'd pay you 1,600. Or however much you need. Hopefully you're glad to end up with a Robot Hero tea. Yeah, there I am. But like, it's such a frustrating thing to me. Because I try to watch what other players do while I'm playing a game to see how people actually feel about the game. Like, here's a thing to consider. If, you know, I'm going to use Mario Kart World as the example here. If I'm playing Mario Kart World, and I'm hearing from people on YouTube, and in YouTube comments, you know, super fans, basically, that something is bad. They don't like the intermission tracks. But when I play online with regular random people from around the world, I see them actively voting for intermissions instead of 3-lap tracks when given the option. Yeah, that tells me that probably the majority of the people who play that game want to play intermissions. They don't want the 3-lap tracks, or they would vote for it. But they're not. Funny that. Almost as if people on YouTube aren't everybody. And that goes for any game. Like, I talk about this a lot with World of Warships creators, but they seem to think because their communities agree with them, which also is another whole can of worms altogether. But because their communities agree with them, that means that everybody agrees, when most of their own communities will openly admit they don't play World of Warships anymore. They just still watch the content. Which brings into question how valuable is asking your audience something if your audience doesn't interact with that thing. Like, I could ask you guys, what do you think about World of Warships, the aircraft carrier changes? Do you think aircraft carriers are good or bad? You might agree with me that they're perfectly fine, but if you've never played the game, your opinion is basically only informed by my opinion. Like, your take, if you don't also play the game, is going to be influenced by mine, where you watch me. So if you say they're fine, well, do you actually play the game? Do you actually believe they're fine? Or do you just say they're fine because I say they're fine and you trust my judgment? There's the difference. That's why I honestly don't think, outside of maybe, and this is a big maybe, like an official YouTube channel for the game in question. YouTube comments and opinions of people watching YouTube content on a game should be ignored. Like, even on an official channel, I still feel it should probably just be ignored, because you're still dealing with super fans. Like, if I didn't really enjoy World of Warships once upon a time, I would have never started watching YouTube channels about it. I only started watching YouTube channels about it because I was like, yeah, I really like this game. I want to get better at it. That's why I started watching videos on it. The average casual World of Warships player probably isn't even on the Discord, and the game pushes you to join that like every 10 minutes, even if you're already there. Like, so it's really no value to question a comment section or a creator's community. Which is where, like, I get really annoyed by creators like Shortcat going, this is a problem. And then his whole community going, yeah, it's a problem. And then him going, yeah, see, it's a problem. Like, no, okay, technically, yes, it is a problem. It is a problem to you and your community. But he even admitted himself that he watches a few Japanese Mario Kart players on YouTube himself, and they don't seem to have a single problem with intermissions. Could it be that maybe just his community has a problem with them? Because he does? You know, it's stuff like that that just annoys me so much. I apologize for going on this long rant. There is another thing I kind of wanted to talk about today, but I've kind of rambled about this so much that it almost feels like I should just keep going. The other thing I want to talk about, I can actually show by home menuing. Palia. That is a game I'd seen a trailer for a while back, and thought it looked cool, and just completely forgot about, like, minutes later. But, one of my friends recently started playing it, and they were like, hey, you should play this. And I'm like, cool, I will. So I downloaded it, or I forgot again. Because, like I said, I had heard of the game before. I'd seen a trailer for it, and I'm like, that looks neat. That looks like a nice, cozy game. And the best way I can describe it is it's basically Stardew Valley 3D and massively multiplayer. It's an MMO. So, like, it has a cash shop for outfits and stuff, and probably other things. I haven't fully explored their cash shop, but it doesn't look like you're particularly locked out of anything progression-wise if you don't interact with the cash shop, so that's always nice to see. I will say, crafting takes freaking forever. I'm kind of hoping my crafting is still going on while I'm not playing, because I need to make bricks to add an addition to my house. Each brick takes 2 minutes. I need like 20 of them. That's like 40 minutes to wait. Because each brick takes 2 minutes to make. I get the idea is you set them up and then you go do something else, and you probably set up multiple brick forges, and then, you know, you get like a little industry going on. But I don't like crowding my house with a bunch of industrial things. So crafting is always going to take forever for me. Yeah, it's quite fun. It's definitely very chill, which is what I thought it was going to be, and like, I'm very glad this friend suggested I play it and got playing it themselves so that they would suggest me to play it, because I probably was going to continue forgetting that game even existed. Not intentionally, just my memory just did not memory it. Hey Flick, there you are. I got some bugs to say, my man. How bad am I going to do today? I got bugs to sell. What kind? A lot. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 17, 18. I'm just gonna say 23,000 because a lot of these are pretty low value. You know, I'm actually gonna say 18,000. I'm gonna go 18,000. 14,000. Okay, I definitely was a lot closer than assuming each one's 1,000. I didn't want to go too much lower than 18, so 69. Nice. Nice. But yeah, where it is free, I would definitely say if you enjoy like cozy type games, it might be worth a shot. Like, no, I was gonna sit on that stump, but you can have it flurry. It's definitely a really nice game. I'm gonna sit in Diva's Garden. I have rambled a lot, and I've been rambling so much and so passionately that my throat is kind of like, stop. I'm like, alright, throat, I will listen to you. The annoying thing is I need to still record a lot tonight, because today is Undertale recording day. I haven't done that yet. I still need to do it. It's 8:30 at night. I go to bed in like 4 hours. Yeah, I don't think I'm recording Undertale tonight. I think I might record something else because I don't feel like recording it. Like I'm mentally in that spot again where I'm just like, I don't feel like recording this. So I think I'm just not going to tonight. I might do just like a little Mario Kart World video or something, or maybe like a Yu-Gi-Oh video or just something random. Because like I just don't feel like recording Undertale tonight. I love the game. Don't get me wrong. I love the game. It's just I didn't feel like even doing that series. I just did it, and now I'm really kind of regretting that. So yeah. All that rambling out of the way though, I thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you back here next time for more Animal Crossing New Horizons. See you all then! And now in this end card, I'd like to ask, if you liked the video, could you maybe hit the like button? And if you're not subscribed, could you maybe subscribe? It'd help me out a lot. Thanks a bunch.